Good morning, my name is Fiona Nichols and I'm appearing for Best Realty on behalf of the landlords Peter and Julie Mason. Just to cover off a few facts of the dispute so that we can get into the conciliation further. Mary was a tenant of the property throughout her time at 438 Henry Drive in Graceville. Obviously she lived there for a period of time. During the final inspection that we've conducted, we've noticed a couple of things weren't quite clean to the standard that we needed in comparison to the entry condition report. Obviously we've taken into consideration fair wear and tear, but there were a few items that we did ask for Mary to return to attend to. Obviously we provided Mary with the entry condition report prior to her vacate as well. So those issues are the kitchen needed to be just a bit of a wipe down clean, the main bathroom and the laundry unfortunately needed a bit more of a thorough clean, and there was some rubbish left in the property that needed to be removed. We did speak to Mary at the time. Unfortunately she felt that she didn't need to return to attend to those things and the rubbish wasn't hers to sort out. So we went and got a quote organised for Mary to consider, and obviously for the landlords to consider as well, and it was $500 for the bond cleaning portion of it, and unfortunately it was $400 came back for the quote for the rubbish removal that was in the backyard. So obviously when we approached Mary, she again declined to do that, which was obviously within her rights to do so. I went back to the landlords and which was obviously Peter and Mary, and they've instructed me to proceed with making a claim of $900, which is the total of those two quotes from Mary's bond. We did obviously offer for Mary to attend the final inspection. Unfortunately she didn't attend, and as I said, she's been pretty adamant that she shouldn't be responsible for those items and makes doesn't want to make any contribution to those costs towards those two items either. Obviously today, tendering the documents which I provided Mary with prior to the conciliation call, and obviously throughout that vacate process, I've provided photographic evidence of those items that we've discussed. So obviously the main bathroom, the kitchen and the laundry and the backyard. So we provided photos of that went with the entry condition report, and we've obviously provided the photos that were part of the exit condition report. I've provided all parties with the quotes for the that we mentioned before, so the cleaning and the taking away of the rubbish. As I said, just to confirm, we did invite Mary to come to the final inspection and she wasn't able to do so, or she declined to do so. Obviously I've got a copy of the rental agreement in the Form 18A, and obviously the bond lodgement form, etc. So all of that documentation has been provided to all parties. As I said, I understand that Mary feels that she did a lot of cleaning prior to her vacate, which no doubt she did, and I do appreciate her efforts there. However, as I say, following that due process with comparison and taking into consideration wear and tear from the entry report to the exit report, there was certainly a discrepancy there, and that's why we're here today. I did ask Mary again if she, had any second thoughts about whether she wanted to do that. I confirmed that she had received the documentation, which she said that she did. We tried to talk through the fact that there was that discrepancy that was relatively obvious, particularly with the photographic evidence that can that formed part of the entry and the exit reports. To this date, unfortunately, Mary hasn't really given us any clear understanding of why she thinks there's a discrepancy there, just that she felt that she wasn't responsible for it. Obviously, following the due process, unfortunately, it puts us in a bit of a bind, and we need to get the property tidied up for the next tenancy to come in for our landlords. So obviously what the landlord's actually after is for a contribution from Mary to the payment of those two invoices, or obviously they're still actually willing for Mary to return as quickly as possible to return those items, to rectify those items. To date though, she's obviously said no. So the outcome that the landlord's after today is the payment, so that we can proceed with those quotes of the $900 from the bond claim, or for her to return as soon as possible and for them to be done, the rectified to a satisfactory standard. Obviously, the proposed outcome that the tenants put forward to this point of not returning and us refunding the bond in total is not something that we're willing to accept. So unfortunately we've come to this dispute resolution in the hope that we can have a third party enter this conversation, help us get to the resolution that both parties are mutually agreeable to. But in a nutshell, the landlords have instructed me that they would like to proceed with the full claim on those 2 quotes. And if we're not able to get that today, they have instructed that they're quite willing to proceed through to the QCAT hearing if need be. So Mary, and obviously you as the conciliator, over to you, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks.